So, it's the start of the year, and I decided to do something a little different, and I'm going off script. So, future me, I am very, very sorry about all of the ums, ahs, e's, and uhs you're gonna have to edit out here. But, I don't know, I figured with how little I uploaded last year, and how, I guess, in the back of my mind, I kind of feel bad about that. I wanted to upload a little, state of affairs video. That's what this video is going to be called. It's going to be State of Affairs 2026, or let's talk 2026. So last year, obviously, for those of you who are interested in the going-ons, was a very thin year for the channel. And not for any particular reason other than I kind of got into my own head a lot about what I wanted to do with the channel, what I wanted to create, and how I wanted to continue. And I say that because there's like 4 unfinished scripts I worked on throughout the last year. And I just, every time I come back to them, I just think to myself, I don't even know what I think. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, I should finish this, but then I don't. And they kind of go into the back of my mind for like a month, and then I'm like, oh crap, I should have done something by the time I should upload something. And it's not because I don't like creating content, or it's because I want to, experiment and be like, oh, different. Like, no. I'm completely fine doing what I'm doing because I enjoy doing it. But on the other hand, I'm also sitting there like, what the hell do I actually have to add onto a topic? 2025 was like a year that had such amazing hits like Clair Obscur and Donkey Kong and Metroid Prime 4, and as you all know, I fucking love me some Metroid. But in all of those games I've played, I just kept thinking to myself, why would I make a video on this? Because I have nothing to add to the conversation. There are a million other, essayists, essay creators, fucking YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, who have something to add to the conversation. And when I look at Clair Obscur, all I can think to myself is like, yeah, it's a good JRPG. It's a good RPG. I can't call it a JRPG, FRPG. And it's the same with stuff like Metroid Prime, where I probably have something interesting to say, but I'm also like, there's like a million other dudes out there who can say it better than me. Like, there's always that thing that's stopping me. And I also don't just want to keep making, like, hey, what if Sonic was in Skibidi Toilet? Wouldn't that be crazy? Like, no. Like, I like doing the Sonic content. I don't want to fall into the mind space that a bunch of other content creators have, where they're like scared of what gives them views, because I'm not even gonna lie to you, like, even with my meager views, like, Sonic is the thing that draws attention, and I'm okay with that because I like the franchise, I care about the franchise, and I like talking about what I would want to do in the franchise's setting. But there's also that part of me is like, I have other interests. Do I not want to talk? Why can I not think of anything else to say that isn't about a blue hedgehog? And that's kind of what's stopping me. There's 2 big projects I've been on again, off again working on, and one of them is Animated Dummies Guide to Final Fantasy XIV, and I've been working on that for 2 years. And when I say working on that for 2 years, I say I started the script 2 years ago, and I keep putting it off, and I don't know why. Though admittedly, Adobe Premiere has been shitting itself. I can't get I can't alt tab anymore without it like freezing in the playback for like a good like 2 minutes, and maybe I need to do a fresh install, and I'll probably do that when I'm editing this, because like, hilariously, it forces me to, pay attention to the content, but the moment it's I've noticed whenever I'm editing footage that's like, an hour long, it'll start chugging real bad. Like, even without alt tabbing, and that's annoying because that really impacts my desire to edit, to work on this stuff, because I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to fucking struggle against my, you know, the means of fucking production here. So Animated Dummies Guide to Final Fantasy XIV is something that I want to get out there. If you've seen Animated Sonic Guide, it's going to be like that. I'm going to take it expansion by expansion, and the Realm Reborn one is pretty much done. It's currently at MSQ level 46, 42. It's when you get up to Garuda and like, or when the ultimate weapon shows up. So it's like, you know, you're in the final arc, and the way I want to do it is instead of like doing this one big project where it's like, oh, and then you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here, like, oh, welcome to Shadow. No. I wanna take it story arc by story arc. So it's gonna be A Realm Reborn, and then A Realm Awoken through Guardians of Eorzea, and then I would like spin off into a Crystal Tower set, and like I would like expand, like I would make it into this, like, you know, bites, well, not even bite size, just separate meals of content. And you know, that was gonna be fun, a lot of work, but I want to put in that work because like the Animated Dummies Guide for Sonic was like, I'm really proud of that video. I'm really happy with how that video came out, and like I want to keep doing stuff like that. I think that's fun. Another project that I want to work on is something that I started like 2 months ago, and it's something, once again, very different from what I worked on, and it's basically a let's rewrite Sonic as if it's a series. At least how would I reboot the franchise without, you know, like making it super different, like taking the future into account, like just like kind of neatly connecting some dots, tying a nice little rope around it, you know, make it a big shit. The thing is, I want to do that while also getting work with voice actors. I wanna commission voice actors to voice that. Like, you know, it was gonna, like, just imagine it's gonna be like, you know, narration like, Stardate 2000XX, planet Earth, Sonic is running down the street, and then like, you know, it's like, hey, you know, shit like that. But that was an awful Sonic impression, by the way. Like, this is why I need to hire voice actors. And I was like, when I started that project, I thought that was a very fun idea. I was like, oh yeah, that's fun, you know. I finally get to network with some people, because like I'm very alone in this game right now, and that's worked out fine so far. But I think I'd also like to branch out and meet some people, you know, like get some people who like my content and like their content and could like collab or like, you know, work together. But I will say, it kind of puts the fear of God in me to try and branch out. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I'm shit terrified of contacting these people. I don't know how to do this. I don't know where to do this, and it also doesn't help that, like, you know, I'm a relatively small channel. Like, as I'm making this, I have 145 subscribers, and that's like, that's minuscule. My most viewed video is you know, it has 2,000 views, which, you know, I fucking love all of you. Like, every single one of you who subscribe and watch this is insane to me. Like, the fact that there are already 145 people who are willing to listen to me yammer on is impressive to me. Like, you know, that's already an audience of 144 or more than when I talk to myself in the shower. But, you know, like, I get inspired by, like, a lot of these, like, videos, like Sonic Form Fiasco, or, even just, like, the fun dub videos, and I'm like, oh, man, I wanna do something like that. I think this would be really fun to do, you know, with my own twist and all that. But these are, like, channels that are, like, you know, already big. They already have these connections, and I don't know, like, I don't make a lot of money, especially not on this platform. And obviously, I'm not going to dog somebody who is doing voice work for me. Like, I want to pay them. And I think, you know, both my channel size and my my monetary income are both things that kinda make me hesitant to contact people, to be like, hey, I'm working on this thingy, wanna come voice act for, because I have like I have a audio, you know, mental image in my mind for who I want to play, you know, who I want to play Eggman and who I want to play Sonic, or at least I have an idea of what I want them to sound like, and I think it'd be really fun. But again, there's that little thing in the back of my head that just kind of stops me. And another part of that is that I talk a lot of smack about Sonic dialogue, but when I come down to it, I don't think I can write something better. I'm going to try my best, and I'm trying my best, and trying to encapsulate what I think Sonic should be. It's how he should sound like, and what he should, you know, say. But on the other hand, I'm also a amateur, and I'm not good at this. You know, I'm passionate. You know, I like doing it, but passion doesn't really make up for cringe dialogue. So, I don't know, that's something I'll have to struggle with. And it's gonna be even funnier that when I look back on me saying all of this, I'm gonna be like, oh, what a fucking idiot, like, why the fuck was he scared to be like, oh, you know, just contact these people, because when I eventually do it, I'm sure it'll work out fine. Or not, you know. I might become, like, blacklisted from the community. Wouldn't that be funny? 2026 is going to be a year where I want to try and do more stuff. At least get back to making monthly videos, which, it's so funny. Like, somebody might think to themselves, like, oh yeah, this dude's just talking about, you know, fucking, like, what if Sonic wore a hat in this game? Like, and on a base level, yeah, it is that easy. But on the other hand, there are times at the end of the month where I'm like, I need to think of something for next month, and I have nothing. And before last year, a lot of that kind of came to me naturally. But last year, it didn't. And again, all of these wonderful, wonderful games came out, and I kept working on scripts, and I had nothing to say. Like, even Sonic Crossworlds. I got into that closed beta test, and I was like, oh, I'll make a video on this. But when the game came out, I'm just like, I have nothing really worthwhile to say on this subject. I think the game's fine. I have my problems, but I also don't want to make that into content. Like, there was nothing for me to really say. Like, I'm not a racing game connoisseur. My favorite racing game is All-Star Racing Transformed, and like, I can only say, man, I wish this was All-Star Racing Transformed 2, like, so many times before it just, you know, repeats itself ad nauseum. Which is a shame, but on the other hand, I'm also just like, I mean, what the hell do I really have to say about a racing game? I think I do really want to get back to what I was doing. I want to keep making content. I want to do that monthly thing again. I want to see if I can expand, because like, I really enjoy doing this, and it's not even for the money, but I want to do my art. And I think putting stock images and making them move in Adobe Premiere Art is kind of pretentious, but I mean, what else am I supposed to call it? I want to put my passions and creativity out there, and I'm really hoping that I can get back into that workflow, because there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse in the back of my head why I'm not doing it. And I think that needs to change, and I want to change that, and that's something I want to focus on in 2026. I want that to be a thing of the past. I want to be able to just, you know, focus on what comes ahead and do it. So yeah, for 2026, look forward to such hot content as, hopefully, I can get Animated 14 out, at least the first part. If I can get that first part out, I think I hope I'll finally have the consistency to keep going with it. And by that point, I'll have all these assets, because that, I'm also going to be real, that's also just like a thing that's stopping me, where it's like I have to get all these assets again, I have to keep making them and then go scene by scene by scene, and like, you know, I'm just one guy, you know, I want to get these videos out in a timely manner. And some of you might be saying, well, just do that then, you don't need to do monthly videos. But on the other hand, I want to do monthly videos. I want to keep doing stupid shit like, you know, what if Samus was green or something. Hey, wait a minute. But yeah, sorry, tangent. See, this is why I don't go off script. This is why I always write a script, because I yammer on and I loop back around to stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but English is my second language, and I'm not good at either. 2026 is gonna prove to be an interesting year for video games. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna make a video on GTA 6. Like, unless GTA 6 does something so different and like, so, like, mind-blowing that I have to talk about it. Like, GTA, like, I like GTA. I played a lot of GTA Online. I'm not gonna lie about that. But there is nothing for me to talk about with GTA 6. Like, oh, this is innovation. It's like, oh, you know, the graphics and the graphics and the dialogue and the, oh my god, and the jiggly asses. Like, I'm not that type of guy, you know. Like, I don't think that's good discussion. But yeah, here we are, 20 minutes, well, 17 minutes later, and, I don't know. I look forward to what this year is bringing, but I also, again, want to get back into that loop. I want to get back into making content because I enjoy it. So, again, as I was saying earlier, because apparently I trail off, look forward to hopefully me getting out, you know, Dummy's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. If I finally nut up and ask some voice actors, I think I can absolutely get at least a first part out of a Sonic rewrite. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it. That's the thing. Like, what if Sonic was rewritten by this geek? Like, no. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Other than that, there's plenty of content that I want to do, and I'm looking forward to it. Considering it's Sonic's 35th next year, I think I'm gonna update the animated Sonic guide, because now that we have an official canon Sonic timeline, and we've had like 2 more games, probably 3 by the time I update it, I will, you know, obviously want to do that. I will want to add those, which is going to be really funny, because I'm going to have to fucking tag in Sonic 4 and Sonic Advance 1 and 2, which I'm sure I can figure something out, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, that'll get updated. Other than that, I can't think of anything right now to really end this off with. So I just want to thank you for listening to me yammer on for 20 minutes. Really, it's nice doing it like this, where I'm not, like, you know, going to edit too heavily, and like I'm just gonna edit out some things here and there. But see, I trail off a gun, guys. This is why I need a script. This is why I need a script, because doing this in one long take is just, like, insane. For me, at least. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to listen to me, but if you are listening to me, if you're one of the beautiful 144 people that aren't me, is listening to this, or if you're in the future and you're looking back on this when I'm, you know, a 20k media mogul, you're gonna be like, man, this dude was yapping something crazy. He didn't know the future, bro. Lacked critical information. I doubt that's ever gonna happen. But if you're one of those people, if you're in the future, if you're in the now, if you're in the past somehow, I want to just thank you for yammering on, for letting me yammer on and let me get this far. Thank you. And I really hope you enjoy what I've got cooking. And I really hope we can continue getting along and have just a wonderful 2026. I hope everything works out for you. And who knows? Maybe we'll talk like this again a year from now.